Hi, this is Justin.
And I'm Ed.
We're The Darkness, and you're watching A-Sides Music.
Well, as a longtime fan, welcome back. You've been back for officially kind of about a year or so, give or take. How's it feel?
A year in, it feels more exciting than a year ago, even. Seems like with every new day, there's a new thing to be excited about. So, pretty awesome.
Nice. Did you know, like a few years ago, when sort of the band ended, did you know in the back of your mind that like this chapter isn't finished yet, or was there a time when you thought like this is never going to happen again?
I always knew.
It seems to make sense now that it is happening again completely, but I guess there was a time, personally, when I couldn't imagine being here again.
Mm-hmm.
There was a time when we weren't all speaking to each other, you know.
But that's always temporary.
Mm-hmm. So how did the ball initially get rolling on this sort of reunion?
Well, the thing is that in this band there's brothers, so we're actual brothers, as well as spiritual ones, you know. So it was. I've been seeing Dan at weddings, Christmases, not so much Easters, but you know, various different sort of family events, you know, birthdays and things like that, and it was only a matter of time, only ever a matter of time.
Mm-hmm.
I heard through the grapevine, and actually through our accountant, that Dan and Justin were writing, you know, playing music again together. And I guess I thought that, you know, there was a chance of the Darkness reforming, but I didn't know if the Darkness were reforming. I didn't know if it did reform, if I was going to be in it. So I think I sent Justin an email, just asked him, said, "Oh, look, I've heard that you're writing some stuff with Dan, and can you just tell me what's going on?" So I, you know, just because I wanted to know. And then it wasn't that long after that when Dan contacted me, and I met him for a drink in Camden in London, and we had a talk about it. And it wasn't long after that, then all four band members and our ex-manager all met up for a curry in North London, and that was the first time we all met on a sort of official capacity.
But I'd actually kept I'd actually had contact from Frank from very early on in the split, and you know, I don't think there was ever any doubt in my mind that, you know, I even said at the time that I'd come back to it, and some of the sort of what are they called, hardcore fans were slightly upset by that. I don't know why. You know, just did what I had to do, and now I have to rock.
Do you think that the other projects that you were involved in the sort of years in between, do you think that helped you like come back to the band with sort of a different mindset, or like maybe it changed the way you approach things?
For me, it showed me a way of performing and existing that didn't involve any sort of how can I put it, crutches. You know, like I didn't have to rely on any sort of chemical assistance whatsoever, and it was actually quite really liberating to have a band that nobody was interested in at all. Nobody was turning up to the shows, just to be able to sort of get that experience under your belt, outside of the spotlight. You know, in looking back, that's a very valuable set of experiences. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, with After the Darkness, because Frankie had left the partnership, and then Justin left the partnership, so actually me and Dan were the only two official Darkness partners left, you know. So we continued and did Stone Gods, you know, another band. But you know, we had some great times and some good gigs. And then I left that due to illness, and they got another drummer. But you know, had some good times. I think it started to become clear it was never going to reach the same success as the Darkness.
And a big thing that happened this year, sort of right off the bat, that sort of threw you guys back into the public eye, was that Super Bowl commercial. And that was like, it wasn't just a Super Bowl commercial, that was like a 90-second Super Bowl commercial. So that was like, that cost somebody like almost $10 million. Probably.
More than 10.
More than 10?
Just for the airtime.
Yeah. How did that happen?
I think they wrote the treatment with the song in mind, and so, you know, obviously we're all going to say, oh yes, you can use that song by all means, please proceed. And then they had the idea of featuring us in it, and unfortunately for the guys, their visas to work in America hadn't come through at that point, so I was the only one able to actually be in it legally, you know. So I flew out and did it, and it was like a, you know, I had my own Winnebago on set at Paramount Pictures, and there was sports personalities and, you know, dancers, jugglers,
Yeah.
Gospel choir, and human cannonball, motorcycle stunt people, skateboarders. And it was the biggest thing I've ever witnessed, you know, let alone been part of, sort of thing. It was really, and it was all directed by Bobby Farrelly, and that's kind of like, he's made some of my favourite films over the years, isn't it? So it's an outrageous experience and completely out of the blue, you know.
Mm-hmm.
From hearing that they wanted us in the advert to doing it was about a week, wasn't it? It wasn't very long. We didn't have time to get the visas sorted out, and it was just a whirlwind, you know. Great way to start the year.
Yeah. I got texts from, like, I watched the Super Bowl. I don't really care about football. I watch it for the commercials, like a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I left probably at around the third quarter or so, and I'm like 10 minutes from my friend's house, and I get like 7 texts from people like, holy crap, did you just see The Darkness? And I was like, the one thing that I like would have cared about. And I was walking home.
It's funny because there was some other sort of music-based adverts as well, and other bands doing stuff. So it's really nice that it won some kind of voted, you know, ad war thing as being the sort of favourite spot of the Super Bowl. So I was really pleased about that. And the last shot was like, the next big thing is already here, or again, or something like that. And it was just a picture of me. I was like, oh, wow, that's kind of like, couldn't have wished for a better reintroduction.
Yeah.
Yeah, great timing.
When you got back together, did it take a while, as far as writing and recording the new album, did it take a while to sort of like find your groove again as like as a unit? Or did you fall back into it sort of very easily?
I don't think we've ever really had the groove. You know, it's always been a struggle, and that's part of the reason why it works. You know, but we definitely found the struggle again fairly quickly. It was all, you know, it's very, very hit and miss. You know, like we end up having to redo things and reapproach stuff and rethink all the time. It's like that on the first record, like that on the second album to a greater degree, and it was like that on the third to a lesser degree.
Okay. Now you've changed your on-stage appearance a bit. You've got more of a sort of biker edge, like with the leather pants, the leather vest. You think you'll ever break out the like peacock unitard again?
I do occasionally do the old unitards. One of my outfits that I change into is a catsuit, but just a different imagining of it, you know.
Yeah. Updated for the new millennium.
Yeah. For the new next decade.
Decade. Oh yeah. So you guys are going to be opening for Lady Gaga on her massive European juggernaut of a tour. Have you guys seen her live before?
No, only on screen. Haven't witnessed it in real life yet. But that's on the first night. I'll definitely be watching every moment of it.
When does that tour kick off?
I think it starts at the end of August, and we joined the tour in Bulgaria. So, but I gather she's already been doing a lot of work on this. You know, she's already done a lot of places. But that's where we join in. do some European extravaganzas.
Well, you've had some elaborate things going on stage in the past. Any think you might try and like show up Lady Gaga at one point or anything? Like try and put together some kind of show that.
Well, you know what we're like. I mean, we're a fairly straightforward rock band, really. But our shows are high energy, and like the intensity that comes from the four men usually suffices. And we're not interested in that upstaging Lady Gaga. I mean, that's you're defending a losing wicket, as we say in England.
It would be foolish to attempt that, but also you wouldn't even try to do that if you were supporting someone.
Yeah, first of all, there's the politeness, and then there's also the fact that it's impossible.
So how do you kill time on the road when you're out?
Ed and I play Scrabble. There's an app that we use on my tablet, which...
We haven't done recently though.
Who's the better Scrabble player?
Well...
He's beaten me a few times.
Yeah, I mean, but to Ed's credit though, I mean, if he can be losing by a considerable margin, he will not give up. He'll see the game through to the end. No, but I mean, that is a compliment, because some people will just get huffy and throw the thing to one side, and he won't do that.
No, that speaks to character.
It does, that's
Perseverance.
That sums up Ed, actually, Never surrender.
It's what Rick's like when you're playing at chess. If he makes the wrong move, then he'll just I'm starting again. So you don't need to know about that.
That's an old guitar tech, Rick Gill.
So you did a few weeks.
Start again.
You did a tour in North America for a few weeks in like late winter, early spring. How was that reception? I know you had to add a second show here in New York City because the first show sold out so quickly.
A lot of it did, actually. I mean, it's only Phoenix that didn't sell out, I think. Actually, Phoenix and Vegas Vegas nearly sold out, or maybe it did sell out.
I don't remember it selling.
Actually, no, I think Vegas didn't sell out, because that's, Motley Crue are doing their mega show at the same time, sort of thing. So rock people in Vegas spent their money on that, which may have been the right decision, actually. But the rest of the tour was, even those shows we loved, because actually Phoenix was probably one of my favourite shows that we've ever done, actually. It was in this weird sort of circular theatre. And whilst it wasn't greatly attended, it sounded phenomenal. It was a really, really unusually high-tech sort of bit of architecture that you're playing, and it's ideally suited for it. It'd be nice to fill it up so we could actually have the stage rotating, but we played to a semicircle and just loved every second of it. It was really good. People right out to the sides and stuff, it's a good experience.
Yeah, seeing a band play in the round is always really cool.
Yeah.
I saw Metallica do that a couple times. It was very cool.
Is that around here somewhere?
Yeah, I saw them 2 nights at the Garden do it, and then when I was living around the same time I saw you guys back in 2003, I saw Metallica like in Virginia, and they were doing the in the round thing. So do you guys have sort of a vision or a plan for like where you see the Darkness going, like beyond the Lady Gaga tour and all that, or are you kind of more just enjoying being back and taking whatever comes?
Just sort of enjoying the moments of it, really. This time around we're really able to sort of see what's happening, and don't want to second guess the trajectory of it. Don't want to worry about that, really, because we now know that even if we have nothing out there, we can still play to a devoted fan base of people that just love what we do, and that's, we can't thank them enough for that, really, because it's just been, people around us have been gobsmacked by how we're able to sell so many tickets without new music out there. And so once we've got new music out there, I can only imagine that it'll just be even more fun.
Nice. Well, thanks so much for your time. This was really awesome. I appreciate it.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.